welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the August month review. August, there's not really much to say for me. I'm back at work full time, but that happened in July. Pretty quiet for both jobs at the moment, but I think that's what's going to happen and that everyone's slowly getting back to normal and it'll take a while for things to pick up. I was meant to go on holiday in August to Slovenia, but that obviously got cancelled because of COVID. So instead, as a family, we went and had day trips, which was quite fun. We tried to go crabbing, and there's a hair like floating in my view. But yeah, we tried to go crabbing, and it was a fail. It was really funny, but it was a fail. Went to a zoo, went to a farm. We just had days out, which was really nice. It was nice to go to places out and do things that I haven't done since I was little, and it was nice to spend some time with my family. But apart from that, I don't think I've got really anything to say for August at all. Like, nothing really happened. My skin, for some reason, last month has started to go really downhill. Like, I've developed like loads of spots under my neck, and my skin has been getting dry for like the past 3 weeks, I think. So I don't know what the hell is going on there, which is quite annoying. But yeah, apart from that, August was an alright month. Book wise, I only managed to read 4 books. I've pretty much had a headache every day of the month in August, which meant I struggled to read. Like, some of the books I really did not want to put down, but I just was feeling ill. I think it was a week and a half where I went really dizzy and I felt like I was going to pass out like constantly. So reading had to take a bit of a back step away from the reading and just concentrate on trying to get rid of my headache. But I did manage to read, I said, 4 books, so we'll get into them now. So this one is called Raven, Blood Eye, Giles Christian. And it says, for 2 years Osric has lived a simple life, though he is feared and shunned for his mysterious past and blood-red eye. Then raiders from across the sea ransack his village, and Osric is taken prisoner by this ruthless band of warriors. Immersed in the Norsemen's way of life and driven by their lust for adventure, Osric proves a natural fighter and forges a deep bond with their chief Sigurd, Belucky, who renames him Raven. But the Norseman's world is a savage one where loyalty is often repaid in blood, and the young man must become a killer to survive. It seems the path is chosen is a dangerous one indeed. So, this is the cover of the book and the name of it, so you guys can take a notice. Of course, my phone's now ringing. I should really put my phone on silent. So, I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave this a 9 out of 10. Like, it was one of those books which I did not want to put it down. Like, I had to because I started to feel sick when I was reading it, but I did not want to. I really struggled to put it down. But, like I said, 9 out of 10. It's a really good book. I really enjoyed the story. It starts off with like introducing the characters, setting the scene, and then you have a character's development. Throughout, you have a sort of twists along the way. It's a really good action-packed filled book with a little bit of essence of like romance starting, possibly some budding romance near the end. It has friendship developments and friendships. It's a really good book, packed together really nicely, and it's a really enjoyable story, and I really recommend it if you enjoy like Viking books, and I would say action books as well, because it is quite action. It's got quite a bit of ruthless fight scenes in there. It's a good book. I really enjoyed it. Also, it is part of a series. I will eventually purchase the rest of the series. Now I have an itchy nose, but I'm not going to purchase it just yet, because I think with this book it's okay if you read it just how it is, because it didn't really finish on a cliffhanger. It had a good ending where he could have wrote more books if he wanted to, or he could have just left it how it was now. So say you picked this one up, really enjoyed it, and then forgot it and didn't have the other books, it ain't going to matter that you don't read the rest of the series if you don't want to, because this is a good story how it is. So I've talked about this book enough now, let's go on to the next one. The next one is The Scarlet Letter from Nathaniel Hawthorne. I want to say Nathan. Okay. The Scarlet Letter is the tragic story of a woman's shame and the cruel treatment she suffers at the hands of Puritan society in which she lives. A settler in New England, Hester Prynne, has waited 2 years for her husband, an aging English scholar, to join her. He arrives to find her in the pillory, a small baby in her arms. She must, as a punishment for her adultery, wear a scarlet A embroidered on her breast, and is consequently ostracized by her neighbours. Sworn to keep secret the identity of both her husband and her lover, Hester slowly wins the respect of society by charitable acts. Her own strength and the moral cowardice of a man who allows her to face guilt and shame alone are brought into sharp contrast in a dramatic and harrowing conclusion. I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave this one I think it was a 6.5 out of 10. But it is a good read. I struggled a lot because the font in this book is tiny, but it's a good story. I have heard about Scarlet Letter. I am aware of Scarlet Letter. If anyone's seen the film Easy A, it's referencing Scarlet Letter. It's using Scarlet Letter as a kind of idea for the story of the film, basically. And there is a film, I think, Scarlet Letter, which I've never actually seen, but I think there is even a film based around the story of Scarlet Letter. But anyway, back to the book. The book's good. I had a twist in there that I wasn't expecting. I'm not going to say in case anyone decides to read it. It is a good classic. It's a good classic. I do recommend it if you enjoy reading classics and you enjoy reading... I need to cough. Yeah, if you enjoy reading classics and if you enjoy reading... not romance. Again, it's like character development. Because she develops as a character so much in this and she becomes stronger. So it's kind of like... if you're a feminist and you want to see a woman become a strong character in a book, because she's like, she's the one, yeah, she's kind of like doing the like man kind of job. Like she's standing up for herself and respecting herself, and she's like, she ends up by being a strong woman and raising her child alone and taking the guilt of both her and the partner that she slept with. She becomes stronger and in the end more respected in a way. So I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. I need a drink before I continue. The Story of Colchester Zoo, S.E. Kershaw. So this is the book cover, and it says, Colchester Zoo is today one of the finest zoos in Britain. Yet, unlike almost every other major zoo in the country, Colchester Zoo has never had a story told, until now. The forgotten figures of Frank and Helena Farrar are here brought to life once again in these pages, which show how they funded firstly Southport Zoo in the 1950s and then Colchester Zoo in the 1960s. Told here is the story of how Frank and Helena's domestic life with their lions and monkeys promoted them to embark on a series of adventures which took them all over the world. Also, this is a story of how Colchester Zoo declined in the 1970s and how the Tropino family turned it into the internationally respected breeding centre for endangered animals that it is today. This is a tale of struggle and heartbreak, but also of transformation and redemption, and is a fitting tribute to one of our great animal institutions as it reaches its 15th anniversary. 50th. I read that's 15th. 50th. I love this book. 10 out of 10. So Colchester Zoo is, I'm going to say local zoo to me, but it's like in a different county to the county next to me, so it's not really local. But it's a zoo that I absolutely love. I've been going there since I was little. I have a lot of memories of Colchester Zoo, and when we went I saw that they had this book and I was like, I'm going to read it, and oh my god, I'm so glad I purchased this book. It is so interesting. Look, I learned so much about the zoo, about how like animals were treated when like the zoos were originally opened. Like what happened in the 1970s when it started being default. I learned about the people that had opened it. I learned so much about the zoo, and it was really nice to like learn about different things from what I can see now, because like it was talking about some of the enclosures and what they used to be, and I'm thinking, oh, so that's that one, and I can picture it in the zoo, and I can picture the zoo with how they're describing it, and I found it so interesting. And I was even like sharing facts with my family as well. Like if I found a fact that I found really interesting, or a story that I found really interesting. Like there was one about a chimpanzee, Billy Joe, that we all know as a family. She died, was it a couple of years ago? But we all knew her from the zoo because she is like one of the best chimpanzees. And there's stories in there about her escaping and all that kind of stuff. And I shared it with my mum and sister because I just had to, because it's just funny and it's interesting to be reading something that you know, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed this book. I would say I'd recommend it, but I don't know if many people that I know actually know Colchester Zoo that watch these videos. But if you know Colchester Zoo and you find it interesting, I recommend it. If not, I recommend trying to just learn about the history of your local zoos or whatever, because you learn so much. You don't just learn about the zoo as well, you learn about the town that it's set in as well, and you learn about the history as well. I've really found this one interesting. My last book. Now I'm drunk, I feel like I got loads of like spit Okay, last one. The life-changing magic of tidying, Marie Kondo. Simple, effective way to banish clutter forever. Japan's expert declutterer and professional cleaner Marie Kondo will help you organise your rooms once and for all with a simple KonMari method. The key to successful tidying is tackling your home in the correct order, keeping only what you really love and doing it all at once. This incredibly easy method will not just transform your space, it will change you too. You'll feel more confident, become more successful, and be motivated to create the life you want. I enjoyed this book. I got it just on a whim. I love cleaning and tidying. I find it relaxing, and I thought, why not read it? As you can see, I've made some notes for myself to like pay attention to. I think there's some big things to do, so I thought I'll give some of them a try. So let's try and find a list. There's a list in here that tells you the order of things you should clean. My throat is going again. But it's like how you should, she's like explaining how to like decide whether to get rid of something, best methods of cleaning and tidying and decluttering. And so the order it should be for clothes is tops, bottoms, clothes that could be hung, socks, underwear, handbags, extra items, clothes for specific events, and then shoes. That's the order you should organise your stuff when you're doing clothes. But I don't know, I found this interesting. The only thing is, I've seen her TV show as well with it on Netflix, and it seems like in the book as well, by doing her method and by doing stuff, it seems like you end up with a really empty house. Because like, I keep thinking, like, looking around my house, I'm like, okay, I have a lot of clutter. I basically hoard. I have a lot of collections, and then just like get rid of things that don't spark joy. Well, I'm trying to think of something I can use as an example. Okay, so I've got a pumpkin on my coffee table. At the moment, it's not really sparking joy, it's just to me it's a decoration pumpkin. But later on, I'll be like, this looks so tiny and pretty and I like it and I feel happy. And I'm thinking, if some people get rid of it, sometimes things spark joy depending on the day, on your mood and everything. And I said, I have a lot of collections, and sometimes I may not be fussed about them, like my unicorns in my bedroom, but other days when I'm having a really bad day, I could be laying in bed and I'll look over at all my unicorn collections and they'll give me comfort and make me feel happy, and I'll feel like the magic inside, and then I feel better. And then I'm like, but then say on the day when I was going to sort them out and I didn't spark joy, I then would have got them if I went and buy a method. So, I don't know. Some of the things in her method seem good, like the idea itself and the organisation. Oh my god, I thought I was going to drop it on the coffee, instead I just knocked the camera. But yeah, so the idea of like the process is a good idea, and the like organisation parts, so like fold and do it like colours light to dark and heavy to light or whatever. But I think some of it you need to be careful with, because some people I think will just get rid of anything and then will be left with nothing kind of thing. But I don't know, it's an interesting book. I do recommend it if you want to like start organising your house and getting your house in order, because that's got some good tips. But yeah, I'm going to stop there. I'm sorry for talking a lot, and I'm sorry for knocking the camera just then. But yeah, thank you for watching. If there's any books that you recommend me, let me know in the comments below, because I am getting low on books. I've got about half a bookcase left. It's quite a small bookcase, so I haven't got many. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the time of day is. I hope you're happy and smiling, because that's the most important thing, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!